This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. It's a beautiful morning here in South Florida with a Miami Dolphins win again. Yeah, it's only preseason, but we still won. Let's go ahead and bring in our co-hosts. First of all, we have the middle-aged man, the bearded wonder, Mr. John O'Hanlon. How you doing, John?
What's up, Papa Paul? Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Doing good. Doing good. What was that?
Nope, just hello to everybody who's out there watching us. Come join us.
Yep. I already put the link out there. If anyone wants to join the panel, you're more than welcome to talk about last night's game. In the meanwhile, let's bring on our brother from another mother, Mr. Dolphin Winners. Sooner or later, get the right. There we go.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, John. Good morning, Paul and Nancy. How you guys doing this morning?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing good. I want to shout out to a couple people in the panel or in the comments. Hook Joe, Fins Up, Pretty Boy, AJ Brown. Keep doing your thing, brother. You do a great job on Fins Up on Facebook. He has one of the best groups, informative Miami Dolphin groups on Facebook, and I'm a group owner, and I'm saying that. Real recognizes real. He does a great job, and his enthusiasm is like no other. Tim Washington, thank you, Fins Up. Let's fucking go. You are absolutely right. Victory Sunday. It's a great day to be a Miami Dolphin fan every time that we win, but you know we're going to talk about the X's and O's like we always do.
Yeah. It was a good game. I mean, I liked a lot of the first series. And I liked a lot of seeing throughout. You learned a lot when you're actually seeing it in person. I think especially a little bit more than what you see on TV and stuff if you're just watching it. Because you see a lot more, to me, in person.
Correct.
Chop was all over the place.
Oh, man, that dude is fast. He's fast. I was like, damn. He reminds
me a lot of JP.
You know what? It was the one play that he had that he missed the tackle on the backfield where it was a run. I think they got 7 or 8 yards, and he literally just missed the defender by like inches.
Yeah,
literally. He is that dude is fast. Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
Yeah, he's definitely fast, but he has to learn to control it because sometimes he's running past the quarterback.
Right, and holy smokes.
Well, then there was that one play where the quarterback's handing off the ball, and he was right there on top of the guy already.
Was that Chop or was that Kamara?
No, that was Chop.
I know late in the game, Kamara had one where
yes, he did.
As soon as they handed it off, Kamara smacked him.
You talk about
I think they were both right there on that one.
Kamara,
but yeah, I mean, it was. They both looked great. I mean, as far as our run stop defense was top notch last night, really, except for up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Our backups let me restrain. Our backups going up the middle, they were running on us.
Mhm. They were, but I think it's something that we can work on and something that we can fix.
Now,
Especially next week going against Tampa Bay. That's something that they're going to work on. I don't think any of the starters are going to play next week. I would be surprised.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him out and played one series again, on offense, and maybe one series on defense, and then got him out of there.
I was thinking.
Now I tell you, our pass defense really looked phenomenal.
Hey, listen, your guy Storm Duck was showing out yesterday. I'm telling you, I heard that name a few times, and he definitely was flying around the field.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he was keeping up with them boys very well and making a lot of good plays.
I think you're gonna have to make some shirt ideas, Paul. I really do. I think the Storm Duck.
I mean, even Cam Smith had some good plays.
I was about to. Yep.
Cam Smith, Tyndall had a couple tackles, was in on a couple plays.
Tyndall too, yeah. It's gonna be tough on these coaches making the decisions they got to make coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I was happy to see Cam Smith out there. It was a shame that hopefully it was just he was cramping coming to the sidelines. What was that, the third quarter where he limped off the field? Hopefully that was just cramping.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting what that was. You know what I mean? Because he was definitely making plays in the backfield, and it was solid plays too.
But I mean, I didn't see. There were several people that got hurt, but I think a lot of it was cramps. Some of them had to go to the tent to be checked out, but they all walked off on their own.
Well, I'll say this: the hit on Chris Brooks was an illegal hit, and it should have been like a 15-yarder because the guy came in. He came in with his shoulder and hit him dead in his head, and I'm like, wow, like really? That's why down on the field, like
there was actually a lot of plays that I was surprised I did not see more flags on some things.
Right.
But I'm glad at the same time.
Right. You know, I'll say this: complaining about the one hit that we got hit with 15 yards. It was a helmet-to-helmet hit. The top of his helmet did clip his chin, so that was it was the call. It was, as much as I don't like it.
I sort of agree with you, but I don't, because when he went to start his tackle, the receiver was up and he came down.
You're right.
You can't anticipate a guy dropping his head 6 inches, so he wasn't trying to hit him in the head. He had his head off to the side like he's supposed to.
Hey, right.
Now, the only problem was his face mask wasn't up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that's going to be. That was one of the reasons why I said I'm happy that we have an aggressive defense, but those are the little things that are going to go against teams like us that play very aggressively on defense. Just those few inches cause a play or a 15-yard penalty in a first down. So it's going to be a major issue to the season. Definitely. Good morning, P. Ryan. Good morning, Mark. Matt Henry. I just sat there, and I mean, I'll say this: overall, we did a whole lot better than we did last week. I would say that. We got to talk about our starting QB. Number one, he went perfect, 5 for 5 down the field, and he looked very comfortable. And that's what you want to see, you know.
And that pass in the end zone was a beautiful dime shot pass where nobody could reach it except our receiver.
Oh, dude, you had a front row exactly where you stood. It was right there in that angle where you could see that whole play develop.
I mean, he looked good with some of those. There was a couple plays that, he got out of real quick and was able to make a play out of it, where I think last year he might have had to do a little bit more scrambling or something and might have even missed the play.
Right. So,
but there was, like I talked before the show, Patrick Paul you could see a little bit of the maybe nervousness or immaturity in him with some of his moves. He was trying to use his arm length and things with his instead of moving his feet along with the defenders and stuff.
Right.
But I did like what I saw with him. You know, he's got to mature a little bit more with it.
Oh, he's a rookie, and that's something that he's going to work. That's going to be something that the coaches are going to work with him, and even the vets are going to work with him with. I mean, Greer didn't pick this man up for no reason. He's seen that this dude is massive. He is a behemoth on the field, and he's raw. So when you have somebody that's raw, you don't have to work with somebody that's raw. You want a little bit of that rawness because that right there keeps that hunger and excitement about that play.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, how you doing?
Well.
All right. Go ahead and finish your stuff. I just joining up.
You know, I'm happy that we have Paul on our team, and he needs some work. Like it's as expected. That's not. You know, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he will. I think he'll succeed. Give him a little time. He'll succeed.
Oh no! I think he'll succeed.
Sure doesn't mean he doesn't have potential.
I think he'll succeed. I'm just saying what I saw last night. You know, where they talked about it from the beginning that he needs some footwork, and I can see that.
Right.
You know, in practice, you know, when you're watching the practice field at training camp and all, it's a little bit different than in the real game. So in the real game and being at the real game, I was able to see it more what they're talking about.
And get some real film too to look at, you know.
Yeah.
Real live action. Even get beat once, you know, and that's how you learn.
Yeah, and like you said, now there's film, so now the coaches can sit down and go over stuff with him and show him what the defender is doing and where his feet should be, and he can practice it.
Correct.
Yeah, but I mean, you could tell these boys were fighting for a position on the team.
And their starting offense was going against our kind of our secondary cornerback room.
Yeah, for a little bit there. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, right from the start. Fuller not out there. Right, he basically just
Ramsey wasn't out there. Yeah,
it was like the very first drive. It was Cater Kohu and Cam Smith out there against their ones. So they got some real good practice there.
Cam Smith was looking real good out there too.
He did grab his hammy area and run off the field and get pulled out. So hopefully that's nothing serious, you know.
But I tell you what, another one. What impressed me was the tight ends that were the way we were using the tight ends.
Right. At one play, I'm like, man, they're sure doing some tricky plays here on that, you know, in preseason. That first tight end play, it was like, man, I was not expecting. That was a little more than vanilla.
The one play with Julian Hill, I mean, Julian Hill bowled over that guy. I mean, he just laid him out pretty much, and I was like, shit, I like that.
Yeah, well, Julian's got good size, and when you can get him running the ball, you know, and he's got a head of steam, there's not many corners that are going to be able to stop him one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. He broke a tackle. It was a light missed tackle, and another guy, he had some steam going on him, and he hit him, and I mean, he got tackled, but I know he put a hurting on that guy at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that play, the play from Achan when Skylar dropped that to Achan, and that was beautiful. And I think, honestly, if he cuts inside, he's going to literally, if you think about it, if he would have made a cut and would have went to the inside, that was all green in front of him. There was nobody else out there. So, but like that, it was a lot of great play by our team. You know, like we all can agree, we still got things that we need to work on, especially the interior online and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, I'm seeing from the second string, the third string, and the FDAs out there, they did not look bad at all. They looked really good.
No, I tell you, I love seeing the different uses with the Chan that we were using out there, and Washington was looking good out there too.
Right.
One thing about special teams, we've not been too high on our special teams the last few years, and most of us weren't happy to not see a change in the coordinator. But I have to say that we got a kick right in that bounced into the end zone, which gets it out at the 20, which is like exactly what you want to do. We also did a kick where instead of kicking it really high, we kind of shanked it, right? We shanked it through the players, so they had to like fumble it and get it up off the ground, and they only got back to like the 23-yard line or something. So I saw some stuff where they looked like they were honing in a little bit better on the new rules.
No, you're right. That part definitely looked good.
Right. Yeah,
I agree with you, Joe.
I just Sports 24/7 with Colin. I literally just posted a video on my Facebook in one of the groups with them both embracing after the game. Patrick Paul and his brother played for the Washington Commanders, and they embraced after the game because they talked about it during the podcast. I mean, not the podcast, during the broadcast of the game. Oh, and sidebar, I want to shout out Jason Phillips. Jalen Phillips. They interviewed Jalen Phillips on the sidelines last night, and he shouted out Lisa Siegel. Shout out Siegel. He talked about how much the fans got behind him. Paul, you should be very proud because you're one of those fans that talked to him on a regular basis down there during training camp. He really, really, really embraced the Miami Dolphins fan base. He's very high in the Miami Dolphins fan base, and he said that was one of the major reasons that he got back sooner than he did. He got like he said, he got messages from Lisa every single day to sit there and keep up the good work and everything, and the fan base is amazing. So shout out to Jalen Phillips for that, man. So the team knows. They know that this fan base is insane and crazy, but they know that we are extremely supportive. So when we are die hard, we are die hard.
Yep. Yeah, I caught a glimpse of that. I didn't see the whole thing, but I caught a glimpse of it where he was a little bit about that.
Definitely. So, and he's excited. He's so happy. You can see the enthusiasm in his face when he was getting interviewed on the sideline.
Even him jumping up and down when Chop was making plays. And,
I got a great picture of JP and Chop on the sideline together that I posted on Facebook. I don't know if anyone's seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, wait till you see it. That's from my seat, and it's like I'm right there.
Oh, wow.
And going back to Paul and his brother, there's a video out. They stayed on the field and they laid the jerseys down and they both signed them and gave them to each other. And
yeah, they did a jersey swap. That was cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
A smart way to make something you can remember it by. That you can put up. Do that jersey swap, sign it. That's smart.
If I'm correct, it's the first time we played it on the NFL field together. So that's why it's such a sentimental moment for both of them. You gotta understand, it's an honor and privilege to play in the NFL. It's not a given that you play in the NFL, and a lot of young men, have to understand that, definitely. So
yeah, it's definitely it's an honor and a privilege to be able to play in the NFL.
Some proud parents there.
Heck yeah.
There's a lot of people who wish they could and never really even get the opportunity to even make it.
Trust me, we've seen guys that we were like, how did they not make the league? You know, it's a lot of stories like that where it's a lot of talent out there. They like, how did you not make it? You know, and it's that what if? You know, I've actually met people that I worked with in the past that was on the they were on the Dolphins practice squad. I got to remember what his name is. Once I find out his name, I'll sit there and let you guys know the story about him. But he worked at my job about 7-8 years ago, and he's like, "You're a Dolphins fan?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "I was on their practice squad back in the day," and he showed me pictures. He showed me pictures and everything. So he was legit. I forgot what his name is though. He was on the Dolphins practice squad at one point in time. He was on the Eagles practice squad at one time. And he said, "Look, I'll keep it being." He kept it a whole 100 with me. He said, "It is no joke, none. To be disciplined, you have to be ready. It's like it's damn near almost a boot camp. Like, you cannot miss or skip a beat at all." No, he said guys come in there. One moment they thought it was sweet, the next moment they were sending them home. They were not playing at all. So they definitely don't have time for babysitting. Trust and believe.
Hey guys, I'm gonna drop. Thanks for having me up.
Hey, Joe,
Appreciate
always good to see you, brother.
And have a great day. Fins up, brother.
Peace, love,
Oh,
and fins
Papa
up,
Paul,
Joe.
thanks for streaming from the game. That's so great to see. That's just, when you haven't been to a game in too long, just seeing this, just nostalgic, just to be there with you. So appreciate that a whole lot.
Oh no problem. It wasn't really the game; it was the pregame. But
Yeah.
If you haven't been there
that
and
part.
to look at from where I was sitting, where I sit, basically, it's a great view of the whole field and everything.
I want to shout out Colin Ireland. Thank you for tuning in to us. Our goal has always been and always will be to have fans from other teams on the show. So if you ever want to pop in on us, we're on today at 10. We're on until 5 to 6 tomorrow. So you can join us at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. So if you ever want to come in and join, and we know you're a Vikings fan, we would love to sit there and hear about the fandom as a Vikings fan and all that stuff as well.
Well,
That's
and
what
another
all.
thing is, Viking fans, I want to hear what they think about Van Ginkel.
Yeah, absolutely.
My wife just said she misses him. That was her boy.
Yeah.
All I wanted was an interception. And then you screwed that up. It's like, God dang it.
Oh yeah, we had the one guy. I forget who it was. Do you remember who caught that interception, John?
No, because Miss Pam's stream was going in and out at times. So
Yeah, that interception last night. It got tipped, and we intercepted it. And trying to make a big play to make the team in a sense, he ended up fumbling it.
The other team.
And the Washington recovered and got first down, which they could have scored on us possibly, but we got lucky and they didn't.
Right.
That could have cost him the team. But if he would have just intercepted it and sat on the ball, we could have ran the clock out at that point.
Right. I got it.
Okay.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. How you doing today?
what's up, Will?
Will? Well, I think it's Colin, but it's Will Richardson, #1 fan. How you doing today?
He might be having trouble connecting or something.
Right. Are you there, Will Richards, #1 fan? Hello? We're going to drop you and have you back.
But it was, I did not see, basically the second half of the game was, as White just said, sucked. It was, the ball didn't go anywhere. It was just like, okay, 4 downs, pass it back, punt it back to the other team. 4 downs, punt it back to the other team. It just went back and forth. The ball never really got moved a whole lot.
Yeah, well, Mike White's got to improve, or he's going to be looking for a new job.
Yeah, I agree.
We're gonna try this again with Colin. Hold on, we're gonna try again.
Okay.
Colin, wait, hold on. Let's see.
No, he's still circling.
And give
Not able to connect for some reason. There we go.
Oh, that's Tim.
There's the other one that just joined in.
Tim Washington. What's going on, Tim Washington? How you doing today?
Good morning. How everybody doing? How everybody doing?
What's
Good,
up, Tim?
good.
How are you, brother?
Fans up. Man, I think Patrick Morris is making plays. I tell you what, man. This secondary cut down, making us 53, it's gonna be really tough. Elijah Campbell, because I think we only carry 4 safeties. So,
yeah, Campbell was all over.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how this all shapes out, man.
I mean,
like,
that's only a week from this coming Tuesday, and we cut down to 53.
Right. It's gonna be fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. Same thing with our quarterback room.
Yeah.
Colin,
we've said it quite a few times. We're going to be surprised at some of the guys who get cut.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to welcome Colin to the show. Welcome to the show, Colin.
What's up, Colin?
What's going on, guys? How are we doing today?
Good.
Can't complain, brother.
Well, I want to thank you for coming up on the show, man. And this is something that we've been working on for the last few months since we joined the Huddle Sports Network. And we've always said that we've always wanted to have fans from other franchises come up and talk and stuff like that. We got a little bit more than a half an hour this episode, but we definitely like to have you back on and go really more deep and in depth. But you have a former Miami Dolphins player on your squad, Andrew Van Ginkel, and I think you guys have played 2 preseason games so far as well. Have you guys played 2 preseason games? Colin, you there?
It looks like it's frozen.
Yeah, I liked it from Miami. So, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. So, what do you think about Andrew Van Ginkel, and what do you think about Andrew Van Ginkel? That's the first question. And with the unfortunate injuries to your number 1 draft pick, what is the feelings going on in the Minnesota Vikings fan base right now?
Yeah, he's got some kind of connection problem.
I'm gonna let him back out. If he doesn't come back, then I'll drop him and have him come back in.
But it's going to be a tough 53-man pick.
Yes. Because Isaiah Johnson too, he's another name that I kept hearing a lot in our cornerback room. Another one of our undrafted cornerbacks.
Right.
Well, Storm Duck was all over the place.
Too. Yep. Storm Duck. Yep.
I mean,
see, I like this year. We won't have no more Eli Apples make the team. Everybody that's on our team can do the same thing as not good. Well, not the same. How can I say this? Not the same way like Jalen Ramsey, but they can still get it done. Feel like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, our cornerback room is off the charts.
Yeah, and if they make the team, they might be the next Jalen Ramsey. You never know.
Yeah.
Agreed. You know, it's funny too. We were just saying this literally about a month ago. That's something that we all were talking about how difficult picking the 53 this season is going to be, and there's going to be some surprises. That's going to be like maybe some head scratchers. But you got to think the coaches know a little bit more than what we know. So. Definitely going to be interesting to see who's going to make this team and who's not going to make this team.
So, question: how many cornerbacks y'all think we carry? 6 or 7?
These young kids are making it tough not to keep 7.
Yeah,
I know, because originally I had 6.
Yeah, I originally have 6, but the way they're played last night, I mean, it's like who would you get rid of if you don't keep 7?
yeah. I mean, you got talent all over. It's not like you don't have talent all over. You know what I mean? And you got guys like Storm Duck that's going to make it even harder to decide who you can sit there and keep. You know, King Smith really good. I was excited to see him on the field. I was extremely excited to see that young kid on the field for real.
Well, I tell you, I did like what I saw last night with our tight end room, and that's what one thing Mr. Polk was looking forward to is doing our tight end. Looking at that, and our tight ends, they were looking tough.
Yeah.
Into Miami to the UCF, man. He was like, he was flying out there like a cannon last night as well.
I think our linebacker room gonna be the strongest that we've seen it in a while.
Well, let's just pray that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. When Long was shaking his wrist, man, I was sitting there like,
I forgot about that. Yes, I ain't gonna lie. We had like 5 injuries last night, and it's like, okay, man. I like preseason, but maybe we shouldn't play the whole 4 quarters. Maybe it should just be like one half and call it a game. Because 2 months injuries is happening.
Yeah. When I seen him on the field grabbing his wrist, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, that was the first.
I think it was just a stinger, but there's no news on it. I looked this morning, I couldn't find any injury reports or any news on it. So,
right. Are you good? Are you good now?
I think so. I don't know. Like every time I try and hop on here, the feed keeps retwisting. So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's me or if it's what's going on. So.
So back to the question. What do you guys think about Andrew Van Ginkel, and with all the things that's happening in your franchise and your organization right now, especially with the major injury that just happened to you guys last week with your first round quarterback? What is the insight and the actual emotions going on in the fan base right now?
Well, the Van Ginkel pickup, I love that pickup. They made some moves. I think by moving off of Kirk Cousins, I think it opened up a lot of opportunity for us to get maybe not necessarily star depth, but more like with Flores as the coordinator. I think it opens up a lot more opportunity for maybe can't see him coming because the talent is not elite, but it's enough to where you can keep the offensive lines guessing. I love the pickup. I love the pick up with him. The pickup with Grenard, the kid from Texans, Blake Cashman, the linebacker from the Texans. I like some of their moves. As far as McCarthy, I'm not. I mean, I've been on the band of I'm not really that concerned about it because I didn't really want him to play right away. I think I saw enough of him in that small sample size against the Raiders to where he knows what he's doing. I just think that teams are way too, gun happy to just go out there and throw the quarterback out there right away and try and justify it by going, well, we picked this guy as a top 10 player. I'm like, people forget you have a 5-year contract with a rookie quarterback.
Right.
Take time, let him season, and let him learn the speed of the game and let him learn. I think with O'Connell as the coach, I think you've got a good offensive mind in there that can properly let this kid kind of simmer and let him learn at his own pace. But I did like what I saw in him. I think the team itself is kind of a little gun shy. We did sign Stephon Gilmore probably in the last half hour. So I did like that move of getting a veteran guy in the room. But yeah, I actually have a question to you guys. If I was a fantasy football owner who would I be looking at to draft? Devon Achane or Raheem Mostert again? This Mostert really kind of
Ooh,
split me
wow,
up last year.
that's a
So, and
tough.
I like Achane, but
I'm going A-Chain.
who would you feel better about?
I'm going
That's a
A-Chain.
That's a tough call, but honestly, from what I've seen and read, I would actually look at Jalen Wright.
Oh, okay. Is he a rookie?
I think
I'm
A-Chain
not totally familiar with him.
he's a
yeah,
rookie.
A-Chain is my man. I don't know much about fantasy football and all. I love A-Chain. He's my man. I boosted him from the time we drafted him. But from things I've been reading up on and stuff, because I'm going to be doing my first fantasy football this year, there's talk about Jalen. Keep an eye on Jalen Wright under the fantasy league.
Okay.
If you're looking for
Good.
touchdowns, stay with Mostert.
Yeah, I got you. And how are you guys feeling about the Tua signing too? Are you guys kind of all in on it? Is it something that you feel like you're kind of in the
I
middle
know.
about, or how you feeling about that?
I know this. For me personally, I'm in purgatory with Tua. Tua is my quarterback. I'm going to support my quarterback. He's the man that's going to lead our team. He still has to show us that he is that guy, meaning that he has to go in and have the cojones like your Josh Allen's, like your Hurts, like some of your quarterbacks that can be there and bring you back in tough situations. He still has to show that too. Once he shows that, he went over. I want this man to see, because these gentlemen know we have three categories in our fan base. We have 2 and 9. You got people like myself that is in purgatory with him, which that's my quarterback. I like him and I want to see him succeed. And then you got people that couldn't stand the fact that he got the contract, he got the bag. So, and they wish the worst for him. So the way I look at it is, we're stuck with him for the next 4 to 5 seasons. That's my quarterback. You got to get it done. He statistically, he's been the best thing since Marino. Statistically, thing about it is,
Yeah.
now you got to be that dog that you sit there and talk about, and saying that you're going to hold people accountable. You got to have that mentality going on the field as well. So once you sit there and start doing things that I haven't seen from you in the last 4 seasons, then I'm like, okay, cool. But you're going to have to beat, first thing first, you got to beat the Buffalo Bills. And you have to beat them convincingly. So that's right there, then and there. So.
Yeah. Will the team build a facility out of a deep freeze cooler so that you are not totally lost when it gets to the playoffs?
You know, that's a beautiful question to have, because I've been telling everybody, whether you can't, number one, they just got to learn how to win in November and December, period. Doesn't matter where you're at. That's the problem. That has been an issue with the Miami Dolphins. We've been the Dolphins in September and October, and then when November, December is, the floor falls from underneath us, and we're back in either to a wild card situation or playing the last of the season trying to sneak in. So we've had definitely in our hands the last season's 8 and 2 records, and then we just crapped the bed. So we're going to have to figure it out where this is more than a season. This is a 5-month season. This is a season where it goes into February if you do it right, and everybody's paid. So money is not an issue with any of these players right now. They got to go out there. They're saying the right things, but you got to show me. I got to see what's going on. You got to sit there and prove.
Yeah. I mean, I live in Haines City, Florida right now. My old roommate he's a Dolphins season ticket holder. I actually went to the Vikings Dolphins game a couple of years ago. I like what they redid with the stadium. He made sure that I went through the 72 Dolphins exhibit that they had there at the time. He did remind me that they did beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl. And I chose to remind him that I was not alive when that happened, but he got a very nice kick out of reminding me of the not so recent history of that. So, but yeah, I feel like you guys. I think if you can keep your success early and beat the team that you got to beat early. I think one of the keys for you guys is securing home field advantage in the playoffs and winning that division. I think if you can do that, you can. I mean, as much as you guys struggled against Kansas City or have struggled in cold weather places in the playoffs. I think if you can somehow find a way to secure that kind of advantage and maybe win a few games that you aren't supposed to win, I think that's going to help you guys in the long run too. How do you think
Right.
about the? How do you think you're going to fill the void that Christian Wilkins left too?
John, you want to take that?
I don't know if you can fill the void, but we've signed a lot of guys that can play the position, maybe not as well, but from what we're understanding, Weaver likes to rotate in and out. So, you're going to have 2 or 3 guys playing in that spot. So, between the 2 or 3 of them, I think we'll get the production similar to what we get out of Wilkins. Maybe not the downfield hustle, but, it's going to be tough.
Sounds very similar to the Vikings with them signing Van Ginkel and drafting Dallas Turner to kind of replace Daniil Hunter too. It sounds like a very similar comparison with that too.
Question for you.
Wilkins just wanted too much money. I mean, yeah, the Raiders gave it to him, but there's no way Miami could have gave him that kind of contract.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Question for you. What you think about y'all got Gravy Murphy, right? What you think about him? Do you think he's gonna make y'all 53?
I think he's got a shot at it, or at very least making the practice squad. I don't know what's been going on with him lately. I feel like he hasn't. I feel like he hasn't been shining as much as maybe he does in the practices. But I think Gabriel Murphy will make it. I think they need to pretty much throw anybody out there to make sure that we have depth at the position. As you can tell by my headline, we finally have a kicker now. The kid out of Alabama, Will Reichard, has been kicking it very strong in the preseason. There's another guy that they think that they're going to keep, this guy named Dwight McGlothern. He was an ex-LSU and Arkansas undrafted rookie free agent. He had about a 98-yard interception return yesterday. Got kind of pushed out at the 1 or 2. But Kwesi's had a really innate ability to find some really good gems. I know Ivan Pace Jr. was one for us last year that kind of stepped in and became our starting middle linebacker. So he's had for what he's not been as good at when it comes to like the first and second round of drafting, I think he's more than made up for it and getting some good bargain basement guys that didn't get drafted. I think he's really focused his attention on that. So it's nice to see. I'm very curious about. I think I'm still defensive tackle and interior offensive line are a little bit of a worry for me, but I think they're. I mean, you guys losing Robert Hunt too. That probably wasn't a fun thing either.
We never expected Robert Hunt to get $100 million offer contract either. Like I didn't expect that at all.
That was crazy.
Very.
Well, it's Carolina. They're throwing money at anything right now. They're like, yeah, go sign Russell Westbrook. Who cares if we are doing any good? So
right.
But I mean, I can understand the pickup though because they need to build from. They got to give Bryce Young some time, and having an interior offensive guard is a start.
What is your thoughts on Brian Flores, defensive coordinator from Minnesota?
I'm sorry.
What is your thoughts on Brian Flores?
I love it. I want them to sign him for years. I know I know what happened with him with you guys. Maybe kind of blackballed him when it came to becoming a head coach somewhere else. I just think he's got such an innovative mind, and I know, and this is something I know I talked about in the Vikings podcast. I know that coaches' salaries don't count against the team's salary cap. But why not just sign a guy and pay him like almost as much as a head coach to be a coordinator? Like it doesn't matter. Like sign him $8 million.
No, he froze up again.
Colin, you there? Oh, we lost him again. Poor Colin. He was making some really good points. Can you hear us, Colin? We got like about 15. There you go. You're back. So, Colin, we got 15 minutes left in the show. So, if you want to pop in for 15, that's fine. But we definitely would love to have you back on the show. Please definitely welcome us back. Thanks for definitely jumping up on here with us. And good luck to the team, and pray that you guys have no more injuries. That's the key thing.
Tim, what's your take on last night's game?
Oh man, I agree with you. I know the stats say that I think we gave up 114 rushing yards, but if you take away Driscoll run, I think that was like a 41-yard rush. If we take that out, I mean, everybody was there. I like our run D and our cornerback there. What I didn't like Mike White. Mike White, I mean, I wouldn't say he was the worst part about the team yesterday because I can't remember the receiver. It was one or two receivers that I'm like, yeah, I know Willie Snead is one, and I can't remember the other guy. Slipping my mind. But I will say too, undrafted wide receiver, the one that once Chris Book got hurt and we had him at running back. I was kind of impressed because to say I know he didn't have like a spectacular game, but say that he wasn't used to being a running back, I still feel like he did okay. I think his name was Trey Burton. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that might be. Yeah, I think that might be it. But somebody put AP Ryan put Easy E made a few plays. That's he did.
Yeah, he did. Did. It was good to see.
Paul, you still with us, Paul?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Without a doubt.
You hear me?
Back on. Colin, you there? Yeah, good.
I'm in the middle of South Florida, so.
Oh, you're good, Paul. You're good.
Okay.
Colin, you with us, Colin?
It's moving a little bit, but
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Listen, you definitely are welcome back anytime. We'll be on 5 to 6 tomorrow, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, 6 to 7, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sundays. So if I'm not here, I know one of these gentlemen will be here also. And we also have two other gentlemen that joins us that are busy at the moment, and they're usually on our panel as well. 3 other actually, and a few so too. So definitely, it's and definitely let the rest of the fan base know, man. You don't have to be on there. Actually, I met one of your fans when you guys came here a couple years ago. Mitzi, she's a major Minnesota fan. There's a few people I don't remember names right offhand, but definitely they were really good people. And due to the fact that you guys came to the Hard Rock Stadium a couple years ago, I got a chance to be a major superstar that's a huge Vikings fan. It's been Chris Jericho, the professional.
Yeah, that's true. He is a big fan.
I'm sitting in the section, and my boy is screaming for me from like 10 rows up from me, and he's like, "Yo, come here." I'm like, he said, "Chris Jericho's sitting right over there." Like, are you fucking kidding? So I run over, and I know, shout out to Fashad, the Finn Usher, and that's his section. And him run over, and my boy's like, Keith, it's funny, it was Keith, y'all. Keith's like, "You don't know who you got sitting in your section?" And he's like, "Who are you talking about?" He said, "Chris Jericho's sitting like 20 rows down, right there on the corner." As soon as he said that, I just flew down the steps. So I'm a diehard professional wrestling fan. So be able to watch him all through his career, and then found out he was a Vikings fan. We took pictures. I got a chance to talk to him. He was really cool. He mingled with the people and took pictures with the people. So definitely shout out to him for that. You know,
Canadians love the Vikings. What can I say?
The only thing that was worse that y'all beat us. That's what made it even worse.
My buddy Jerry, the guy from Miami that I was telling you about, is my old roommate. But he's about a 6'6" skinny guy. He wears a Miami Dolphins sombrero to every game. And usually when he goes with them, he has a deal where if you're a fan of another team that's playing the Dolphins, he said I have to wear something Miami Dolphins related back home on the ride back to Central Florida. But I wasn't quite as mean to him about he has to wear a Vikings thing on the way back. So luckily he knew I'm kind of I'm a nice guy, so I didn't really hold him to it. But yeah, I've got his NFL draft coming up here soon. But yeah, Jerry, we call him Mr. Miami in Orlando. So maybe I'll try and see if he wants to hop on here too.
I'm gonna go.
So we got about less than 10 minutes left. I'm gonna be close to wrapping it up. Like I said, Colin, you're more than welcome to come back and join us on any other podcast. My man Tim, great. I'm happy that you came up on the panel today, and thanks for coming up, man. You're welcome at any given time if you're free. If you see if I'm not up here, if you see these gentlemen up here, please pop up. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we enjoy having different viewpoints and different opinions about the sport. That's what makes it healthy for us. You know, my brother Paul and my brother John, I love these guys to death. They know what they're talking about. We always agree to disagree, but that's what makes us Miami Dolphin family. So, with that being said, for the Vikings, who do you guys play at your final preseason game?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's the 49ers, to be honest with you.
All right.
I think it's the 49ers. We've looked good in both of our two games. We looked good yesterday against Cleveland. I think the 49ers are probably going to play their guys. I'd like to see the Vikings do, and I know that they're not big on like playing starters, but I feel like with Darnold being a first-year guy, I feel like they need to throw their starters out there just for a little bit. I know that they're trying to bubble wrap these guys to make sure that nothing happens in the preseason. But I think something that I've noticed, especially with like the first game of the season, if they don't have any reps going into the first game, it seems like they are really, really rusty, at least for the first half of the first game. And I don't feel like you can afford to, especially with a new starting quarterback, I don't think you can afford to be too rusty right out of the gate. I mean, I think we're playing the Giants I think we're playing the New Jersey Giants in East Rutherford. So I like calling them the New Jersey Giants because they play in a different state. So I don't know why they call them the New York Giants. But,
trust me, I live in New Jersey. It's because New Jersey is the little stepchild to New York. So both the Jets and Giants call themselves New York. They both play in New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know what I mean. To me, yeah, I feel like the Giants are a beatable team, but I think the Giants have one of the most underrated defensive lines when it comes to getting pressure in the NFL. With Kayvon Thibodeau and now acquiring Brian Burns, I think that's a deadly tandem. And to put, I think their defensive tackle, I think it's Dexter Lawrence. I think he's the interior guy. I think that's a really troublesome team to be playing right off the bat. But I think if they can get their interior offensive line together, I think we can at least keep Darnold upright enough to where we can make some plays. Because I think the skill position group of the Vikings outside of quarterback, I think it's arguably one of the top three in the league. I mean, if you can sport out Aaron Jones at running back with Ty Chandler, and then you have Jefferson, Addison, a guy who really has stepped up this preseason has been Jalen Naylor, a kid that took in the 5th, 6th round out of Michigan State a few years. I think he's really starting to bloom a little bit. And they have another guy, Tristan Jackson, who's caught 3 touchdowns so far in the preseason too. So if they can go out and win that game, I mean, it's just week by week. I mean, that's the biggest thing. If you can win a few early and surprise a few, I think that's going to help the team get off on the right track. I do like you. By the way, a total off topic thing. I do like you guys' very welcoming vibe that you have going. I've hopped on a few of the NFC North podcasts with the Packers and with the Bears and with the Lions, they're not quite as welcoming to me when I hop on there. They tend to really like to give me a very hard time. Because I talk to those guys about their efficiencies and deficiencies about their teams, and right now we're projected to be the last place team in the division. So they make sure that they very well know that they think that I have anything to do with the outcome of the game. So it's always humorous with a few of them, especially the Packers guys, because the Packers are a publicly owned team. So Joe from Sheboygan, he has to make sure that, hey, I'm the reason why we got this guy, and we make the big decisions. I'm like, no, you don't. So it's always humorous with those guys. It's nice to have welcome by you guys. So.
Well, Colin, I'm like, definitely sit there. If you're a part of the podcast, you can add us on our Facebooks. I'm at Dolphin Winters on Facebook. He is Paul Ferguson is to the left of me, and my man John O'Halloran, he's to the right of me. You can add us to the Facebook, send us a request. We would love to come on the show. You know that for a fact. Whatever our schedule allow us to. And definitely got less than 5 minutes. Paul and John, do we have anything else to say today?
My only thing is, I think we saw a lot of good things from a lot of young guys last night, guys that are trying to make the squad, stepping up, making plays. We've said this for the last month or so, 5-6 weeks. This 53-man cut is going to be tough. I don't envy the coaching staff. There is a lot of talent at a lot of different positions, and guys are going to get cut, and we're all going to be surprised at who some of them are.
I agree with you on that, John. There's going to be a lot of surprise cuts. Other than that, all I want to do, I do want to thank everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Huddle Sports Network. Just thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. Remember, if you haven't, go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button. It helps us out. Other than that, it's been a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, a wonderful show. Nice meeting all the new faces on this panel. We love having new people on the panel. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody.
Shout out to
yes, sir. Fins up, fins up.
Fins up. Thanks for joining us, Tim. Thanks for joining us, Colin. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Have a good morning, man.
Of course.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.